trust in our billing system, our metering system, and our overall supply to the consumer.
So, in your bio, it said that your early experiences assisted you to have a career in STEM. What early experiences was that?
Well, my first experience that brought about this fascination for STEM actually came from my father. My father was, he's still alive, but before he retired, he worked as a mechanic at a trucking firm. And what he introduced me to were engines, how they work, and mathematics. From early on, my father had me writing numbers upwards of 1 million, 1 billion, 1 trillion, just as exercise. And for him, that was how we bonded. I know some persons out there might be groaning, math. Yes, math can be fun, is fun, continues to be fun, and is needed in everyday life. And so from around 5, 6, 8, I was fascinated by how things work because of my father. The fun introduction to mathematics. And so it just went from there. I need to know what it is, why it is, and ultimately what came into focus was from my introduction from my mom. Morning, Mom. The church activity brought the people side. So my father brought the science, my mom brought the society, and then how does science help society be better? And so that drove me in high school, upwards into university. My dream is to go back in the classroom and teach. Yes, yes. I ultimately, hopefully, will retire as a teacher, not a metering manager. But we'll see how that goes.
You can start teaching me.
Well, I guess SKELEC can have classes then and have you teaching.
No worries, no worries.
So, with that being said, you are the metering manager at SKELEC.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you explain to me what your department do to assist SKELEC in being the #1 utility company?
Oh, okay. Ultimately, SKELEC delivers energy for our consumers to use to better themselves, better their life, and some part, because of COVID, just basic necessities. And the metering department is responsible to measure and track how that power is being used by our consumers. Now, that responsibility is not small, and it comes with not just reading a meter. What we're hoping to achieve is the ability to, one, provide SKELEC management and distribution teams with an idea of how the power fluctuation moves throughout the day. Now, right now, we have that on a macro level based on feeders, but no one knows exactly, and that is what we're going to be doing. Let's say, is it camps or bigger user of power at 12 noon? So that is what the meters will allow us to do, to say how the power is distributed down to a residential level or a commercial level. Two, we also want to contribute to our consumers in that it will be maybe not the next year, but in the near future, be able to provide them with information to say how do they use power. Because right now you have persons trying to ask a simple question: will it benefit me as a consumer to change my appliance? What would that appliance cost me in terms of an electric bill? So those questions, the metering department would be the first stop in trying to answer that. And we hope in the near future to have those answers by consumer. Yes, I said it.
That is a big mouthful, and
yes.
I am a part of those consumers wanting if I should change my appliances and different things as well. So, the topic this morning is metering standards and understanding AMI. What is AMI, Mr. Williams?
Well, they're automated metering infrastructure or automated metering interface. Sounds like a mouthful, but basically what it's saying is with the advance in science, we now have the ability to have the meters tell us their readings. But not just consumption, it will also be able to tell us what the size of your current is, what the voltage is like, what the frequency is like at your location, and if you have that information over time, you basically get an energy profile for that location. So the automated metering interface or infrastructure now allows utilities companies to see exactly how and when its consumers are using power.
How long ago did we start the AMI system?
The AMI system was fully activated in 2018, February, and is currently going through metamorphosis as we move platform to provide more coverage, as well as to ensure that as a tool, it is a benefit to SKELEC, and it is a good social partners to our consumers. So we'll be making some upgrades to the system to accomplish those two goals.
So these meters that we have on our homes right now, these are the smart meters. What makes them so special?
Okay, that's a great question. The smart part in the smart meter is all about its communication, its ability to communicate what it's doing, what it's seeing, back to a central location. Put it simply, before there was the meter using a mailing system, you would be that's your mailing box. Somebody had to come and physically put the mail in, and you had to physically go and get the mail. Now the smart meter is internet, it's email. So from a remote location anywhere in the world, once access is available, you can now look at your meter reading, not just consumption, but everything electrically that is being recorded on that meter. Another way to put it, video doorbell. So now you can see whatever you're doing in terms of electrical energy anywhere in the world once those access is granted. So that allows us as SKELEC to monitor different endpoints and to, from time to time, answer the question, maybe for another program. I'm just going to say it. Why is my bill so high?
And we get a lot of those questions.
Yes. We are actually developing that service, and we have some persons who have take advantage of it, and you'll be surprised what we found just by looking at the meter data. So yes, we are aware of the concern, and we at SKELEC, we care, and we are a social conscious partner, and you can come into SKELEC and ask for that service, and we will address it. So the question about why the bill is so high, we have been answering that from time to time. Different reasons, but the data that we get from the meter is key in helping us quickly identify what is going on and be able to suggest corrective measures to our consumers.
One of the things I didn't hear you mention, Carla, was about the ability of the company to, through the AMI system, to improve the billing system, at billing period that is, and as well as the connection and disconnection. Can you speak some more about that?
Okay, so I will speak firstly about the billing system. We are partners with the billing department, and we both are working together, hence why we're making some changes to the AMI system to improve the coverage and the readings that we get from the infrastructure. The target is to get 90%. And what does that mean? The ability to get the reading at any time consistently will lead to consistent billing. Once the system is in place and no issues environmentally, then the consumers can expect to have regularized billing, as well as the ability, once they sign up, once that service becomes available, to actually look at their readings. So that will be our end goal, that the data is not only available to billing department, but as a service, as a community and an energy partner, we make that data within reason available to our consumers or our end users.
But it also makes the billing process a bit more efficient as well, because it would reduce, at least from my understanding, and you can correct me if I'm not right, that it will reduce a lot of the physical manpower involved in the process. So because there is a higher level of automation,
right,
that it makes the billing process a bit easier. That's why the company would definitely be a champion for a system as such.
Well, what it will do is, at the end of the day, it will address or eliminate to a great extent the physical work associated with getting the readings. So the readings will be an automated process, and so though we can now focus on ensuring that we deliver the best service to our end users, so that manual task of just getting the reading and all the effort surrounding that will then allow us to move those resources into customer care and grid care.
Okay, and the connection and disconnection portion.
Okay, within the metering department, we do not look. Yes, the meters will allow us to do remote disconnection and reconnection, but we are more focused on the part that it allows us to quickly reconnect you.
Okay.
The disconnection is something that we wish would never happen. And a plug here, once you are aware of what is happening, please come into SKELEC and speak with us. We have different options available to you, and see, so we can eliminate the number of disconnection. Disconnection is not something that we want to do, but yes, the system allows us to do it efficiently, as well as more importantly, it allows us to quickly reconnect when persons become regular.
So we prefer to collect than to disconnect.
We prefer to collect than disconnect. Yes. I'm going to write that down.
We have to say that this is a slogan that we got from Carla at another radio station some time ago. And we were asking persons what the SKELEC slogan was. And the Carla gave us this one. And we tried to get his name to give him a little something, but he really wasn't obliging.
Okay.
But yes, we prefer to collect than to disconnect. We really don't like to disconnect, right, Colin? You don't like when you get those calls.
No, we don't like those calls.
But Colin, I know that we are in the final stages of the program, and we really like to get to hear from some of our callers that allow us to open the phone lines and hear from one or two callers. Oh, we do have a caller. Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Good morning, how are you doing?
We're doing well.
Okay, I just wanted to be with me for 1 minute.
Okay.
My name is Donald Wildon from Buckley District, alias Kobo. I've been having a problem with the SKELEC for the past couple of years now, it's about 3 years. What happened, I built a house on Buckley, and they come and they pull lamp out because they wire them running over my house. They put full lamp on the east side of the house. So the wire coming from up there, so go from one side and the other. The other neighbor wire hook up on the other lamp post where they put. And I talk to Ryan, I talk to Molly, I talk to this girl named Polly, because I remember with Polly Mango, and nobody seemed to do nothing about it. And I really took a bill and the wire right over the house. So I asked me, because they don't plant the lamp post in there, this fellow from Buckley is named Yellow. He don't plant the lamp post here. Almost 3 years, over 3 years now. And he can't come over the wire there. And they come here to Ryan, they come here to Molly, they come here to Polly, all kind of people. So I'm begging you, if you could please send somebody to move the wire from over the house and Buckley, for Buckley for me, please.
All right, caller. I want to thank you for that call, and I want to thank you for being so patient as well. I know it's not all the time that we do get it right, but I will make a commitment to speak with the manager, the planning manager, about this issue so that you can get some relief. Colin, you wanted to...
That's one is.
Oh, I think his name, he said his nickname is Cobra. I got that at Buckley's, and there are 2 lampposts that and the wires that he would like to have moved. All right, Jiggy, do we have any more callers? All right. Colin, before I wanted to get callers, I wanted you to talk a bit about the prepaid system, the power up, and how that directly links to your department.
Okay. One of the services that the automated system will allow SKELEC to implement is the prepaid system. The prepaid system, explained simply, allows you to pay and then use, and once you've used up what you've deposited in your account, then the account is automatically put in hold. Okay? I'm refraining from using the word disconnected.
Okay.
So you pay as you pay and then you use, as opposed to postpaid, where you use and then you pay. The ability for the meter to be able to be turned on and off without human intervention, automated, is key to that service. So AMI allowed for the automation of the connection and disconnection of the service, and because that's available, we were able to establish a prepaid system where you pay as you go. So without the AMI, there is no prepaid.
Okay.
So
And
prepaid is basically like a top-up system.
It's a top-up
Whatever
system.
you pay is what you use.
You pay and then you use.
Okay.
That's correct. And what is also key to that process is the information coming from the AMI system allows us to have a sense of what your daily consumption is, so that we can advise you what your minimum top-up should be. So it doesn't make sense you put on $10 worth of power when you're going to consume that in the next 5 minutes. So that information coming from the AMI system allows us to get a sense of how you use your power, so the top-up amount makes sense. Because you don't want to be constantly just doing that. So it is smart enough to give recommendation on the top-up level.
Okay, now Colin, I know that you would have recently been appointed as a meeting manager, and within that department there's
Right.
the AMI component and the more traditional actual installation connection of the metering.
Correct.
Of the meters, that is. What type of advice do you want to give to electricians at this point in time as it relates to any type of standards that there might be for the metering process?
Okay. It is not just the electricians, but to everyone.
Okay.
Over the years, SKELEC has learned some valuable lessons.
Okay, Colin, we have a caller, so let's hear from this caller. Good morning, caller.
Morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I see SKELEC have a wonderful parking lot opposite the building. I'm just wondering, is it a service for the customers or for the work? It's a parking lot for the workers.
The parking lot downtown by the main building?
Yes.
That parking lot is available for use by our customers as well as our employees. So that was one of the initiatives that we wanted to create as a part of our Power in the Community initiative, because we recognize how difficult it can be in that area to find parking for when persons need to pay their bills. So yes, customers can use that parking lot.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right, you're welcome. Go ahead, Colin,
Thanks for
about
calling.
the
Right.
standards.
Correct. So, based on our experience,
And Colin, you have just about 1 minute to do so.
we're in the process of finalizing what those best practices are, and we will use this platform as well as all available platform within SKELEC to get that information out, not only to electricians but to consumers and the hardware stores, because whatever the standards are, you need to have the supplies to be able to implement them.
Okay.
But that's coming soon, and we will keep you informed.
So with this information being said, that's a big mouthful, and we'd like to thank you for coming this morning and helping us to understand the metering standards and also understanding AMI on a whole. So thank you, Miss Dr. Williams, and thank you, Miss Harris, for being here this morning. I would like to say happy independence to our wonderful federation on behalf of the St. Kitts Electricity Company. And we would also like to tell our customers happy 10th anniversary for being with SKELEC over these years. And we love you dearly. Do have a God bless day.
Yes. You know what I mean? And suddenly you say, "Oh, I'm gonna take a gamble." I mean, you know, it was a poor gamble by Bravo. He admitted it. He admitted after that he took the gamble and it didn't pay off. But that's history now. So, of course, it's the same surface, Tony, that was played on yesterday. So we should see another very good surface. And as you rightly said, 389 runs in one game, 350 in another.